Well, hello friends. Today we are going to work on terminal stuff. So what I'm going to do today is add hyperlinks to the terminal. So I would like to get to the point where I'm able to click output from ls, for example, and it would just open it up in a text editor or in the file manager, for example, if I click on a directory. And then it would be sort of a generally available hyperlink mechanism so that you can make any text into a link if you wanted to. And I Googled this and I found that some terminals already support sort of a shared way of doing this. And basically it's this escape sequence right here. So it's an OSC sequence and it looks like this. So you have the OSC. This is sort of the same as like setting the xterm title, for example. It works the same way. So you send OSC 8 and then a list of parameters and then a URL that you want to link to and then a string terminator. So I think we'll use this way of doing it because then we're doing it sort of the same way as other people do. And the way that this would work is that it's sort of like a color or like bold text or whatever in the terminal. It's an attribute. So you just activate hyperlink and then anything that you print out right now has that hyperlink. And then if you change the hyperlink, then whatever you print from then on has a different hyperlink. And to turn or to like end the link, you just say, okay, now the hyperlink is an empty string. So pretty simple. So let's implement this and then make our software print out some links. So first thing is in the terminal, which is the terminal emulation, we'll have to go and look at the parser. Where's that? OnChar. So currently, this is what we do with OSC. So OSC is escape character followed by a right bracket, and then we go into the state called expect xterm parameter, which is handled like this. So basically, xterm uses ASCII character 7, so the bell character, to terminate some of its sequences, and the standard way of doing it is an escape character followed by a backslash. So we have to deal with that here, but it's already working. But basically, we need to implement a new xterm command, and this one is number 8. So we already have set window title as the only command that we support so far. But now we'll add number 8 here. So I guess maybe we'll set the current attribute href, or what are we going to do here? I guess we'll set the href actually to the, what is that, the third parameter, right? So this is the 0th param, this is the first param, and then this is the second. So that's good. Okay. And then they have this thing here also that they call like parameters, which is you can assign an ID to a hyperlink, and that is to assist the terminal emulator in doing like this hover underline effect, because the terminal has no way of knowing like which links belong together. So if you have a link that's like broken across 2 lines, for example, then in some cases you might want to inform, or the program running inside the terminal might want to inform the terminal that these 2 strings here are part of the same hyperlink and they should be underlined together on hover. And the way you do that is you just pass a unique ID as a parameter. But I think maybe we'll just skip over that right now, or like, yeah, I think we'll just skip over the ID, but we can say that we generate an ID automatically whenever you crap out a new link, at least. So what would that be like m next ID or something like that? Yeah, we can say the ID is a number for now. Fix me allow respect the provided ID. And then we will just have I don't know, some number here that we increment. Or ID. Let's call it href ID. Okay, so now we need to teach our terminal buffer attributes to have links associated with them. So we'll just give them an href and I guess an href ID. And then it's only a matter of updating this, which we already do here. Okay, so that's good. And then so this, now we've been just editing the low-level terminal library. But I think maybe this is everything that we need here. And now we can go to the terminal widget. So when we do a mouse down, I guess. So let's say that you control click on one of these things. So if you're holding control and the event button is left, then you will get the buffer position at the event position. So basically translate where you're clicking in GUI coordinates into terminal emulation coordinates, so like row and column. And then we'll say attribute is terminal attribute at position. Maybe we can even write that this way. And then there's no such thing as attribute at. I thought that existed. So let's invent that. So basically the way the terminal is laid out in memory is that it's all these lines, so that they're all, every line is represented by a terminal line object, or it's this struct right here. And on each line, it's an array of characters and an array of attributes, and then like a dirty bit and some stuff like that. But basically, each character cell has a character and an attribute data structure that tells us like what color is it, what's the background color, and also now what is the hyperlink of this character cell. So it would be very nice if we could just ask the terminal object what attribute is at a certain position. So we'll just do something like this. Like that, and then we'll just add that down here. Okay, and then we'll say that, well, I guess if position is not valid, we can just return an empty or a null attribute or whatever. And if lines, if position row is greater than or equal to line size. Wait, what are we trying to do here? Line. What is it that determines it's valid? Okay, so it has to be a positive number for both row and column. Okay. So if the row count or the row number is greater than the line's size, then we'll fail. I think that's okay. and likewise with the column. So we'll get the line here. Okay. And then if the column is greater than or equal to the line length, then fail as well. Okay. Then all we have to do is give you the attribute. So like that. Okay, that was kind of cumbersome. But that's good. Okay, so now we can get the attribute, and then we can say if attribute href is not empty, or well, let's just do something like this. Open URL attribute href, something like that. Okay, and let's go in the ls program and print out some interesting file URLs for these guys, so that the output of ls is hyperlinked to each file. So where do we print names? Let's call it print name. Okay, so here we'll just say if flag, I guess we'll turn this on by default, so if not, disable hyperlinks. I don't know if there's a way to use args parser to have a default on thing. Maybe there is. Disable. No, don't create or hyperlinks. No hyperlinks. If you really want to turn this off, you can do that. Okay, and then we have to crap out one of these things. So basically like this, followed by the file URL. URI is the target of the hyperlink in URI encoded form, blah, blah, blah. File for local files. We should put the host name in the file URI. See, yeah, that makes sense, because I was thinking if you log into a remote machine, then links are not clickable, right? Like, but they would still look clickable if they use this mechanism. So, I mean, they would still be clickable, but we should know that it refers to another machine. So, so I guess we'll just include the host name here. I don't know if we can parse this URL, but we can fix that. Because then you get a good behavior with remote machines as well. And then we'll just do the path, and followed by a, oh wait, we should have there's this ID parameter thing here, but we'll just skip that. And then we need a string terminator. Okay. And we'll put the host name, followed by the full path of this file. So in print name, we're just printing like the actual name of a file, so we don't know the full path here. Maybe we can just be a little bit lazy and use real path. So we'll do name characters, allocate for me please, and if this works, then we'll free it. Okay, it's a little bit smelly, but it's okay. And then host name, let's just hostname characters. Okay, if s host name is no. So if that works, then the host name is buffer. Otherwise, the host name is localhost, I guess. Okay, now we don't have to get hostname syscall for every path at least. And then we need to turn off the hyperlink at the end. So if not disabled, then we do, I guess, an empty one. So this basically just turns off the hyperlink attribute or sets it to the empty string. Sync and run. Oh, we can't memcopy the attributes thing anymore because it's no longer primitive members only. On line 64. All right, well, let's just do a manual loop because I added a string member to attribute, so we can't memcopy attribute anymore. So this is when we are changing the length of a line. That happens when you resize the window. Then we have to adjust the length of lines in the buffer. So we just copy what we can copy and throw away the rest, basically. It's not the best algorithm, but that's what we have right now. New attributes is attributes at I. Oh. So let's see if we can no, it doesn't do anything. All right. Did I rebuild everything I needed to rebuild? I feel like I did. Probably I did. So what are we forgetting? Mouse, terminal widget. Okay, why is this doing this? So we didn't click, we didn't get any messages here, no. Okay. Oh, because I said is empty. It's supposed to be the other way around. I wanted to show non-empty URLs, obviously. So, click, 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 look at that. So, I can control click them and it actually works. That's pretty neat. Okay. And I guess it would be cool if we would show them as underlined when you're hovering them. So let's go here in the mouse move event, and then we'll say attribute is terminal attribute at buffer position at event position, and then if attribute href_id is not the same as my current hovered href_id, then we'll do something like this. maybe we'll even store the href as well. And we will do an update to repaint ourselves. Yes, I think that would make sense. I don't know if this href should be in the end, like maybe it should be a string actually, because I guess you could provide any arbitrary string, so maybe I'm making a mistake by making it into a integer. Hold on, let's change it into a string. But we can do something like this here, so it'll still would just be an incrementing integer, but we'll store it as a string. Makes it a little bit easier to implement that arbitrary ID thing later. Yeah, okay. Oh, next href id. Wait, why don't you like that? Dun, 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 dun. Oh, I didn't save, that's why. Hovered href. Did I not call him that? No, I didn't. Okay, and then, oh, we're calling buffer position at down here. You know, let's not call buffer position twice. Because there's a little bit of stuff in there, so we can do less stuff. It tends to be a good idea to do less stuff on hover or like on mouse move, because you know when your mouse moving over something, you're just sending a stream of events, right? So the less you do, the better in response to those. And then let's do underline. So we already handled terminal underline attribute, but I guess we can just piggyback on that. So we'll do something like should paint underline. No, not should beep. Should paint underline. So we should paint underline either if the underline attribute is set, or if the hovered href is non-empty, and so this is, we're going cell by cell when we paint. So now we're in the painting code in the terminal widget, and this here, when we draw the underline, we draw it per character. So for every character that we paint, we look at, well, we were looking at the underline attribute, and now we're also going to look at if that character cell has the same hovered href ID as the one that we're hovering. Yeah. So that would be attribute href ID. And look at that. That's pretty cool. Wow, that feels so weird. But at the same time, there's something so right about it. I almost feel like they should be single click to activate, but at the same time, it would be kind of weird because like I have a habit to do this and that sometimes in my terminal, and it would be weird if just left clicking somewhere in the terminal would open something. So control click does feel like a decent enough compromise. But I don't know, maybe we'll reevaluate that. But now we can actually control click these fellas and we actually get the thing here. So let's try to open the thing. things done, because now this should be pretty easy. We can just send it to the launch server, and then he will open it on our behalf. So it should just be a matter of, here we will just say, oh, we need libdesktop actually. Libdesktop launcher. Desktop launcher open. Attribute href. You take a URL. Okay, so that's probably okay. I wonder if this will work. I feel like it's not going to work. Probably because of pledge. We didn't pledge Unix, I'm pretty sure. First, we need to make sure that we link with libdesktop so we can use the launch server. And I didn't do that right because why? Need to be after libvt, I guess. Oops. Yeah. But this should fail because of a missing pledge. So we'll crash and it will say you haven't pledged Unix. Has not pledged Unix. Yeah. But I think that's okay. We can pledge Unix in terminal. It's not such a big deal. It just means that we allow the terminal program to make local socket connections. It's certainly, because this allows us to retain our unveil calls. So we still run with a very limited view of the file system. It's just that now we can actually tell launch server to do stuff on our behalf. So that still dies. Now what? Connection refused. Oh, I have to unveil the launch portal, of course. That's fine. So we will unveil temp portal launch. This is RW. And can we open something? Click. Doesn't work. But we are receiving a connection in the launch server. We just don't do anything. Okay. Oh wait, I bet it's because of the file URL. Probably we don't parse those. Because I think we special case file. Yeah, so for file URLs, we just skip over parsing a hostname and go straight to path, but we should actually parse a hostname first. So I think you fix this just by doing this. Oh wait, we didn't rebuild. Let's see. Click. Alright, now what happened? I can't open anon bookmarks JSON since it hasn't been unveiled. Oh, this guy is trying to real path them in the launcher thing. That's a little bit unfortunate. We can't real path here without unveiling. Oh, how do we get out of this situation? maybe we can I guess we can skip real path if it's an absolute path, and then we dodge this issue for now. If it, so if file system path or URL path starts with a slash. So path is just URL path characters. That's a const char. This is a bit hackish, but basically real path. Path to use. Okay, let's be sanitary about this. Path to use is path. Free path. Path to use. Yes. Okay, so this is a little bit of a workaround so that I don't have to deal with unveiling more things at the moment. But maybe that'll be okay. Oh, shit, we need to make sure Hack Studio links against the desktop library as well, since it uses libvt. All right. So many things to link. Okay. Still can't. You're still trying to real path it. Oh shit, yeah, because I didn't put else if here. Lib desktop. Please. Bad address. So wait. So if the path doesn't start with a slash, we should probably log here what we're trying to do. Opening launcher opening. URL path. What are we doing here? Maybe we, maybe it doesn't look like an absolute path. No, it's a good looking path. So why would that fail? So this looks goofy. So bad address. Stat gets a bad address in launch server. So what are we doing here? When we get the open URL request, we just grab the URL and then try to open it. So we try to stat the thing, but stat says bad address. It's a little bit unexpected, but okay. So what I wonder what we're actually sending across here. Oh shit, wait. Am I doing this right? Create with file protocol, path to use. Wait. File. We shouldn't be handing relative paths to this API in the first place. So I think we should just send the URL across as is. Like, I don't know why. No, this isn't right. Like, because the way this is written right now is that libdesktop launcher API takes a file URL that may be relative, but a file URL should never be relative. It should always be absolute. So here, let's just get rid of that. And then we'll just say actually like that. It became very simple suddenly. Okay, bad address. I wonder if we're parsing these wrong or something. Let's see what we're trying to do in the launch server. So open URL. I'm gonna try to open request URL. So we get the URL as a string. I wonder if there's some problem here. Let's see what it parses. Parsed to URL. And then is it valid? We're gonna find out here soon. Maybe it's not parsing the URL on the launch server side. Yeah. Okay, so what's wrong here? Ooh, look at that. We're missing the host name. We're missing the host name. Why is the host name missing? To string. For file URLs, we don't include the host. I think that's probably the issue. But we should include the host always, even if it's a file URL. But we'll skip the port number for file URLs. Let's see. Ah, there we go. Okay. Okay, so these open in text editor, directories open in file manager. That's pretty cool. What if we go in here? Can we open in the browser? That's pretty nice. Okay, man, that's a really sweet feature. And now, yeah, just any output from ls is hyperlinked. That's awesome. It doesn't work with scroll back. There's a lot of stuff that doesn't work with scroll back. Scroll back needs to be fixed up in the terminal app. We're not going to sweat that right now, but that's pretty cool. Does it work ls-l? Yes, it does work. very cool. Okay, so let's make some commits here. I guess starting with the URL class. So back allow file URLs to have a host name. Okay, and then in the launcher thing, we'll just not try to resolve relative URLs. You're expected to provide an absolute URL, even if it's file. Don't resolve, let's say, URLs. Expect absolute URLs instead. It's not our job in the desktop to let's say URLs on behalf of callers. So let's just not do that. Okay, that simplifies things. And then this was just debug logging, right? Yes. Okay, and then let's add the feature to the terminal. So that's really libvt and terminal and HackStudio. libvt plus terminal. Support hyperlinked. Support hyperlinked terminal. So hyperlinks in the terminal. We now support hyperlink. Support basic hyperlinking terminal using OSC 8. What is it? OSC 8 URL? Something like that. Can we fit all of this? I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty good. Can we type it this way? Yes, we can. Links are opened on using launch server. Via launch server on control click. Oh, wait, let's put one of these guys here. This is really cool. ls make file names in the output hyperlinked. This allows you to control click to open files in terminal to open files in ls output. That's so cool. Okay. Just thinking, what else can we do with this? Should we do something with the markdown thing? We have the markdown render for terminal thing, so wait, what's the thing I'm looking for here? When rendering for the terminal, we ignore any non-absolute links. We'll see, we could change this. Instead of putting, because currently what we do for links in Markdown output, say that you wanted to look at readme.md, right? So hyperlinks, they are just, we just put the link like this. But wouldn't it be nice if they were just actual links? Now we can do that. So, should we hide the URL? Maybe, I don't know. Let's see, let's start by not hiding it. Wait, so the text comes here. So I guess if we have a link, then we will grab out this with the span style href, followed by the string terminator, and then afterwards we will do this to turn off the link. Let's see how that feels. Lib markdown and MD and sync and run. This feels like a sensible feature. And look at that, now they're linked. And I can click on Sergey, and it tries to open Sergey's GitHub. That's pretty cool. And we are doing something very intensely here. Probably, oh, I wonder what we're doing. Probably something stupid. Anyway, we're not here to investigate that. Can't open GitHub yet, but that's pretty cool though, that it shows like that. In fact, relative links. Yeah, we don't do anything smart for relative links. Maybe we should ignore relative links. We shouldn't linkify them either. We can do that. I'm not completely sure about this, but maybe that'll be okay. We can improve on this. I don't really want to deal with relative links because we do have relative links in some Markdown, like in man pages. So these are links here, but they don't work right now. It would be nice if we could make them work, but that's a little bit of a different thing, so I don't want to get into that. But the fact is that these work, and that is cool. Click. All right, very nice. So I'm going to commit that. The markdown. Turn absolute links into terminal hyperlinks. Into hyperlinks in terminal output. That's kind of nice. And then, wait, hold on, let me just put a note here. So, I'm not completely sure how to handle this nicely for relative links, but it would be nice to do that too. Just thinking, is there something else that we can do here that would be cool? LS is such an obvious one. I guess it would be cool if I could right-click and there's not a right-click and copy, but it doesn't copy the URL. I feel like if I'm right-clicking on a URL, the context menu should probably have something about that. Terminal widget context menu event. So let's see. Oh wait, do we have the... We can figure out... So when we get a context menu event, we have to figure out if you're right-clicking on something that is hyperlinked, right? So maybe we should have two separate context menus, one for hyperlinks and one without. Context menu for hyperlinks. Yes. Okay, and let's see if hovered href id is null, then do the regular one, else context menu for hyperlink, pop up at the event screen position. That seems fine, and then let's see if we can... I was thinking, let's just create this... I don't know why we lazily construct the context menu. That doesn't seem really useful. So we can just create the same thing here, except this guy will also have some additional stuff. I don't know what we'll call it. GUI action create open URL, maybe something like that. And that would be capture this, get the action. And what we want to do is just say desktop launcher open hovered href. And for copy URL, we'll just do clip GUI clipboard set data. Like that. Let's try it. Oh, sometimes the terminal freezes on startup, and I still didn't figure out why. It's some bug. Forgot what I wanted to do for a moment. Okay, here we go. Open URL. Click. That didn't work. Why didn't that work? Because it's empty. Why is it empty? Hovered href. I feel like if you have a hovered href, why does it go empty? Let's do this. Hovered href is or something like this, just so we can see what it is. Maybe we can discover what's going on here. Oh, Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting mouse move events in the terminal window. Oh, oh, that's so awkward. I guess because I right click and it immediately opens the menu, but the terminal is still like actively receiving inputs because we lock on to the input in the Windows server because I click mouse down, because I click the mouse, right? And then when I let go, then it's no longer the active input window. So if I right click and let go, it works. Okay. Right click, let go, copy, paste, totally works. That's a stupid bug. So wait, how do we fix that? Active input window is what? When we mouse down, you become the active input window. Maybe when somebody throws up a menu, then we should drop whatever the active input window was before. That seems kind of sensible. So in the Windows Server Client Connection class, where we do pop-up menu, we do menu.popup at a position. So then we could say that window manager clear active input window. Let's try that. Or do we have set active input window? No, we don't. Okay, so it's a little bit of a strange API, but let's see if this feels right. Because normally the way things work is that if you click down on something, then that thing that you're clicking down on, it will continue receiving mouse events until you let go of the mouse. That's pretty typical. That's how you're able to like press down on a button and then leave the button and then come back, and it goes up and down based on that. So like you press down here, you leave, you come back. So even when I'm outside, as long as I'm holding my mouse button down, the button here is still receiving the events. And then when I let go, it stops receiving them. So does this solve our issue? So I do this. No, it did not solve that issue. Active input window. Let's see. Clear active. Clear active input window. Let me just see if we were actually even doing it. It's a little bit hard to, I don't know quite how to express the policy that we're looking for here, because like it seems obvious that like if I do this and I open up a menu, then the menu should become the active input window. And we cleared it, so we did clear it, but it's still receiving stuff. Why is he still receiving stuff? Are we the automatic tracking? How does this work again? Cursor tracking. Who is tracking the cursor? automatic cursor tracking. Is that you? Okay. I guess we need to turn it off for that window. Okay, I see. So in clear active input window, this is a little bit strange. How should we do this? Maybe we'll just expose the window. And then in client connection, say window manager, the active input window. So if we have an active input window, then we need to turn off his tracking. False. We should probably only do this if it belongs to this client. Or I'm not sure. Oh damn! I'm not sure what a good policy is here. Sometimes window management is so tricky because you have these things that feel so intuitive, and when you stop and you have to actually express it in code, what is this thing that feels so intuitive? You realize how weird and hard it is to express it. Okay, so do that, and yeah, so I've stopped tracking because I opened up the pop-up menu. Maybe that's okay. I think maybe that's okay. So in Windows Server, what did we actually do? Wait, what's this even? How did I manage to do that? I didn't mean to do that. Okay. It feels like spaghetti-like to do this from the client connection that just is responsible for doing a pop-up. So I'm thinking maybe what we want to do is instead where the heck do we notify the window manager? I guess we don't. You know, let's just do something like this. In the in-menu pop-up, let's just send a generic window manager. Did pop up a menu. And then window manager can react in this way. Because at least then it's window manager reacting instead of us imperatively like reaching into window manager. That just feels so magical and not good. So window manager did pop up a menu. So now when you do pop up a menu, we will clear any ongoing input gesture, basically. Going input gesture. So active input window, return, otherwise active input window, turn off tracking, and get rid of the active input window. And then here we'll just say, we'll take a badge actually so that only menu can call it. Okay, I like that a bit better. And we don't need to expose this API at all in Window Manager. And then the fact that there's such a thing as a active input window can be a secret that Window Manager doesn't tell the outside world. I think that's better. So our diff then becomes Window Manager reacts to a menu being popped up by clearing any ongoing active input window state. Yes, very cool. And I can't open stuff here now? Oh, wait, hold on. This guy is sending file URLs without the host name, and then we don't parse those. So we have to fix that. So I guess we broke file URL parsing if you don't have a host name. So we'll catch up and fix that. Let's see. Windows Server. Cancel any ongoing input gesture or input tracking, let's call it, when a menu pops up. You might this fixes the scenario. This helps, or wait, what did we say? When the user opens a context menu by right-clicking on something, we now immediately stop sending mouse events to the window caused to whoever was tracking, was ever doing active input window tracking before. There might be more situations. There are probably more situations where we should do this, and maybe there's also a more generic way to express it. This works for now. All right, and then we had the context menu for hyperlinks. Okay, so open URL and copy URL to context menu. These only show up when you right-click to terminal widget context menu. Right-click a hyperlinked character. So okay, and then let's fix URL parsing. Maybe we'll fix it by we'll need a unit test anyway for this. So let's see, test URL. Let's see what we do here. We'll just write a quick new test. Test case, file URL with hostname. File localhost. Or wait, hold on. URL my file. Expect equal URL is valid. True. URL hostname is localhost Earl path my file, right? And then we should also have one without a host name. This should work just fine, but it should have an empty host name. And I have a feeling that this does not work. I guess they're not called host name, but host. Failed. So we failed to parse the one without the host name. It just becomes invalid. So why is that? This is serialization. Oh wait, we can probably test the serialization of this as well. So we'll say expect eq Earl to string. Basically, it should serialize the same way that we put it in. So why are we mucking up the parse? So we go to the in-host name state, and then what? So it's file ///, which is not a valid hostname character. So, oh, here, if the buffer is empty, we return false. I think we should allow ourselves to succeed here. So if buffer is empty, we should fail, but not if the protocol is file. If it's file, then it's okay. State is state. In path. Continue. Okay. Guess, oh, we can just say host is empty string in that case. All right, there we go. Oops. Unbreak parsing of file files with no host. He should still accept the URL parser. All right, that's pretty good. So, was there something more I wanted to do? We could probably think of more things that we want to do with this, but this is pretty nice. Why don't we syntax highlight this? If we open JS or JSON in the text editor, we will now use JavaScript syntax highlighting. It's just a tiny little thing, but I think that would be nice. Use JS syntax highlighting for .json files. All right. But I think I'm pretty happy with what we've built here. So this is probably going to be the end of today's video. So if you made it this far, I thank you for watching, for hanging out, and I hope you saw something interesting. I certainly like this feature quite a lot, and I think we can definitely find more interesting things to do with it. And it feels like we're modernizing the terminal a tiny little bit here, right? Because we can click on these guys. Bloop, look at that. It's a changing filled radio circle. And now if we open bookmarks.json, it is syntax highlighted, although you can barely see it because syntax highlighting is a little bit weird in the default theme. We could probably do a bit more interesting highlighting. Oof. Man, this is such a neat feature. Maybe we should hyperlink the... Okay. I'm not going to get into too many things right now, or more things right now. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it, and I'm really happy with the feature. If you can think of something that we can hyperlink in the output from random commands, let me know in a comment, or if you want to implement it yourself, feel free to do that. But yeah, thanks for hanging out. I'll see you next time. Bye.